Hey, I'm asking seriously, do you ever feel like your life is just stuck in loading mode?
What do you mean? Like spinning in circles like weak Wi-Fi during a rainstorm?
Exactly. Like waking up in the morning and your mental battery is already at a flashing red 3%. It doesn't shut down completely, but it can't run any app properly either.
At least phones have chargers. For me, I feel like my biological battery is completely degraded. I plug it in all night, and in the morning, it still says low battery.
Yesterday, I sat at my desk until 2 a.m.
No way. Since when did you suddenly become so hardworking?
No. I opened my laptop and sat there contemplating human existence. Finally, I Googled, how long can you live on 4 hours of sleep a day?
Haha, and what did Google say?
It didn't answer directly. It just showed ads for all-inclusive cemetery plot packages. I guess it figured I'm beyond saving.
Google is too sharp these days, but I get that feeling. Many days I sit in front of the screen for an hour, then suddenly realize I'm just moving the mouse back and forth on the desktop without knowing what I'm trying to do.
Do you know what the scariest part is? It's feeling tired, but not knowing what you're tired of.
Spot on. You clearly haven't done anything strenuous, yet you're constantly exhausted.
My energy lately is like a t-shirt that's been machine washed too many times. It looks normal on the outside, but one gentle pull and it stretches completely out of shape.
That's a heartbreaking yet incredibly vivid analogy.
And the funniest part is how adults always ask, what do you want to be in the future? While I don't even know what to eat tonight to avoid going broke.
When we were kids, we thought growing up would be so cool, free and independent, spending money without a care.
Now, at 18, every time I open my banking app, my heart beats faster than when I see my crush. Seeing a balance of just a few dollars makes me want to call an ambulance.
The other day, I stood in front of a milk tea shop hesitating for 10 minutes just to choose a size. It wasn't about being stingy. I just knew that buying that cup would send both my finances and emotions to rock bottom.
Haha, being both emotionally and financially broke is so real. But I find this age so strange. We laugh a lot, but it's mostly just polite smiles to avoid having to explain ourselves.
Yeah, many days we hang out with friends, taking photos and smiling brightly, but when I lie quietly in bed at night, I suddenly feel incredibly empty.
Because all of us are trying to pretend we're fine. Looking at everyone's stories, it's always healing, good vibes, enjoy this moment.
When in reality, we're rushing to meet deadlines while wanting to disappear from the face of the earth.
The other day, my friend posted a sunset photo with the caption, "Peace comes from the little things." 10 minutes later, she DM'd me, "Hey, do you have $200 I can borrow to pay my electricity bill?"
Classic piece on a budget. But I think we are weird too. We're stressed to death, yet we love making ourselves even sadder.
For example,
Late at night, playing depressing music, listening to heartbreaking breakup songs even though we've never been in a relationship since birth.
haha, that's called a passion for art.
That's not all. I even write and act out scenarios where my future partner betrays me, then sit there feeling sad all by myself. Gotta practice beforehand so I won't be caught off guard later.
No one can beat your imagination. But I have to admit, this age is really sensitive. Just a tiny thing can keep us overthinking all night.
Because we always compare ourselves to others. Scrolling online, we see peers with high-paying part-time jobs or winning scholarships. Then we look at ourselves, lying down watching videos on how to change your life.
I once watched a video on the 5 a.m. habits of successful people to get motivated.
And then what? Did you wake up at 5 a.m.?
No, I stayed up until 5 a.m. to finish the playlist.
All right, I have no defense left for you.
Joking aside, I realized one thing. No matter how messy or mediocre life gets, we always find something to laugh about.
Like when?
Like when I got only 2 points on my math exam, I was still grinning from ear to ear because I knew if I didn't laugh then, my mom would make sure I cried for real.
Makes sense. True to the style of my life is a mess, but my filter still has to look pretty. I guess it's thanks to that spontaneous sense of humor that we've survived this long.
Sometimes I think maybe life doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. It just needs to be fun enough that we still want to wake up and keep going tomorrow.
Sounds like you're growing up.
I was just talking nonsense. It's not like there's a skip button to jump past this difficult phase.
No skip button, only mom's voice yelling at full volume every morning, glued to your phone all day. Other people's kids are.
Okay, I surrender. Don't bring up other people's kids anymore.
But honestly, I think the days we feel the weakest are when we understand ourselves the most. When we're happy, we just live on autopilot, but when we're sad, we finally stop to ask what we really want.
So, do you have an answer yet?
Not yet. How about you?
Me neither. But that's probably fine, right? We still have plenty of time.
The phrase still young sounds both comforting and terrifying. In the blink of an eye, we'll be turning 30 before we know it.
Don't scare me. That's creepy.
Haha. No use worrying about the far future. At least this afternoon we still have a cup of coffee to drink, and someone to sit and listen to our random venting.
And we still have a reason to smile, even if it's the smile of two sleep-deprived people.
Yeah, that's already a win.
Hey, what if life is still exhausting tomorrow?
Then we'll meet up at this cafe again.
To drink more coffee?
No, to pull each other out of the pit of despair.
Hearing that suddenly makes me feel so much lighter.
So today we won a round against life.
Yeah, at least for today, we haven't given up.
Your face today looks like someone whose credit card was just maxed out by life.
I just stumbled upon my crush's story.
And? Are they getting married to someone?
No, they just posted a picture of a cup of coffee.
Then why do you look as devastated as a tragic romantic movie heroine about to meet the Grim Reaper?
The problem is, that cup of coffee had 2 straws in it.
Ah, I see. One story, a million heartbreaks.
My heart rate dropped instantly. It weakened steadily, just like our school's Wi-Fi when it rains.
You're way too sensitive. They just put 2 straws in a cup. They didn't post a picture with a marriage certificate, so don't fret.
But that's the signature of student love. Just a change in your crush's profile picture or status, and your brain automatically writes a tragic, multi-episode drama series.
Exactly. They reply 5 minutes late, and in your head you're already picturing them on a date, planning a lifetime with someone else, right?
Seriously, the other day I gathered all my courage to text, "Have you eaten yet?" 20 minutes later, they replied with a single word, "Yes."
And then your brain started racing again?
I immediately thought, they must be having a romantic candlelit dinner with someone, which is why they replied so coldly.
Oh my goodness. They might have just been cleaning the house or taking a shower.
No, a person in love always has an incredibly sharp intuition.
No, a person in love just has an unmatched ability to overthink.
You wouldn't understand. Having a crush in school is so weird. Just seeing them walk past the hallway makes your chest feel like there's an EDM festival blasting at max volume.
Yeah, I'll give you that. Back then, I also had a crush on someone in my grade. One day, they turned around to borrow my blue pencil.
And then? Did they say your pencil was nice?
No, I assumed they were giving me the green light. Just from that one question to borrow a pencil, I already named our firstborn child.
Haha! True to school romance. They smile at you by accident, and you voluntarily dedicate your entire youth to them.
But the most embarrassing part is trying to look cool in front of them. Normally you speak fluently and walk confidently, but the moment your crush walks by, your limbs feel like they've suffered a system software glitch.
Exactly. Every time I meet my crush, I lose the ability to speak my mother tongue.
Give me an example.
The other day they asked me, "Did you go to extra classes this afternoon?" I froze for a few seconds and replied, "Yes, Tuesday."
Haha. Like your brain is running a system update and suddenly loses internet connection.
It's so weird, in your eyes, everything your crush does looks beautiful and poetic. They just rest their chin on their hand and look out the window, and to me, it looks like a scene straight out of a movie.
Meanwhile, when I'm tired and rest my chin on my hand, my mom thinks I'm catching a cold and drags out the medicated oil to scrape my skin.
Even if they post a blurry, out-of-focus photo, I still think it's artistic.
Your love filter has severely lowered your eye's resolution.
One time, we did group study together. You know what? I went straight from a mild crush to complete, helpless infatuation.
That was fast.
They were just solving a math equation, but to me, it looked like I was watching an inspiring TED Talk speaker.
Truly, love is nowhere in sight, but the dopamine in your brain is already working at maximum capacity.
The hardest part is my crush is both handsome and a bit clueless. They are kind and polite to everyone, making me think I'm the only special one.
Like they lend you a notebook.
And I think they want to write a chapter of life with me.
They say, get home safely.
And I start getting ready for wedding photos.
Please, dial down the daydreaming for my sake.
But looking back, love at this age still has something very cute about it, right?
Yeah, it's cute because you like someone with pure sincerity, without any calculation. They don't need to be wealthy or high status. Just seeing them smile is enough to keep you happy all day.
Exactly. Back then, my crush would reply with just haha and an emoji, and I would open and reread it like I was studying for final exams.
Adults only get happy when they receive their salary, but back then, we just needed our crush to react with a heart to have enough energy to live happily for a whole week.
But sometimes we embarrassed ourselves so badly we wanted to sink into the ground. I used to deliberately post moody stories with depressing music, hoping they would message to check on me.
And did they?
No, my crush remained silent, and only my mom was the first to comment. Is your screen broken? Why did you post such a dark photo, dear?
Haha, your mom is so practical.
That's not all. For a while, I purposely stayed up late. Seeing their status active, I refused to sleep, just to wait for a text.
What was the result?
They still didn't send a single word, and the next morning I went to school with dark circles like a sleep-deprived zombie.
Truly torturing yourself in every possible way.
Even though I knew it was often just a passing crush, I still couldn't pull myself away.
Because that feeling makes school life less boring. Having someone to look at every day is a kind of motivation in itself.
Yeah, when you're tired and you see them walk past, you suddenly feel fully charged again.
Like an emotional power bank.
But it's also the fastest thing to drain your battery. I concluded this after viewing their story 17 times without daring to hit the heart button.
Quite introverted, aren't you?
No, I live like a coward.
Haha, straightforward.
But actually, I once resolved to confess my feelings. I sat down and drafted a massive text, sharing all my feelings, probably as long as 3 phone screens.
And did you hit send?
Not yet. I fell asleep. When I woke up the next morning and read it again, it felt so incredibly cheesy that I deleted the whole thing.
Truly, at night we live on emotions, but during the day, once we're sober, we live on self-cringe.
But honestly, school romance might be foolish, but when we grow up, it's hard to find that carefree feeling again. Back then, you liked someone just because you liked them, without weighing their background, future, or conditions.
Yeah, but that's also why it's easy to get hurt, especially in situationships. You're not even holding hands, you have no official status, but jealousy is fully present.
That is a classic. I once stayed up till 2 a.m. just to analyze a single from them to see if there was any hidden meaning. In the end, I just overthought and made myself sad.
You really brought that on yourself. But if you could choose again, would you still want to have a crush on them?
Definitely, at least thanks to their presence. My school years had more color. Even if it was foolish at times, it was fun.
Youth would be a bit flavorless if you didn't have a crush on someone to the point of smiling to yourself.
But now I think I'm more mature.
In what way?
Now, when I see my crush posting a story of a drink with 2 straws, I just suffer in silence instead of screaming like I used to.
What a monumental difference.
But sometimes I still crave the feeling of being moved by little things, like before. An accidental eye contact, a quick reply, or just a casual greeting. As we grow up, people seem too busy, so they easily forget those pure emotions.
Yeah.
Do you know what the scariest part is? It's not heartbreak, but the fear that in the future, we won't find anyone who can make our hearts flutter anymore.
Sounds a bit sad, But I believe there will be someone who comes along and makes you grin like an idiot once again.
I hope so.
And if not, at least you still have a full Wi-Fi connection and an undying love for food.
Oh my gosh, Alex. I feel like my life energy right now is exactly like a phone at 1% battery.
But you refuse to plug it in?
The problem is my soul doesn't have an outlet that fits any charger.
It's early morning, yet your face looks like your credit card was just overcharged by life.
This morning I made the mistake of opening my banking app to check my balance.
Ah, I get it. The feeling of looking at your account balance and suddenly wanting to live a quiet life of meditation, right?
That's not all. The worst part is the app scrolling a text banner, wishing you a wonderful day.
You're broke, but the customer service system is still very polite and attentive.
I don't get it either. The moment my salary hits my account, it evaporates faster than an X, leaving a message on red.
The salary of a semi-adult is like a tourist. It drops by for a quick check-in and leaves immediately.
After paying for electricity, water, internet, and rent, I look at a bowl of instant noodles with deep gratitude.
Yesterday, I stood in the supermarket hesitating between two choices. Buy a bottle of soda to please my taste buds, or preserve my last shred of dignity.
Which one did you choose?
I chose a bottle of water, because dignity won't quench my thirst.
Other people live for ideals, we live on discount codes. I swear, when I get a notification saying, "Your order is eligible for free shipping," I feel happier than when someone confesses their love to me.
Yeah, we are beyond saving.
No, we're just being optimistically broke.
When we were young, we thought growing up meant freedom to do whatever we wanted.
Now that we're older, it's indeed freedom. Freedom to worry about everything. Back then, losing an ink pen made us sob. Now, even when we lose our life's direction, we still have to commute to work on time.
The pinnacle of maturity is when you're stressed to the point of exploding inside, but you still put on a fake smile and say, "Yes, I'm doing fine."
The other day, my boss asked, "Are you under any pressure lately?" I really wanted to reply, "Yes, I'm so stressed I want to turn into a puff of smoke and float away, boss."
But in the end, you just smiled politely, right? Adults specialize in using smiles to cover up unpaid bills.
Last night, I lay there with my arm over my forehead for 2 hours, just wondering where my life is going.
And the result? Any new direction?
I don't know, but it's definitely not heading towards wealth.
I really like this clearly directed pessimism of yours.
Thinking back, I really envy cats. They just sleep, occasionally meow, and get loved and pampered completely.
While we have to send PDF files in the right format and on schedule to get respect, office life is truly a survival game.
Every morning, we wake up to a series of highly challenging main quests. Quest 1. Go to work without crying.
Quest 2. Smile politely at colleagues, even though you want to run away.
Quest 3. Pretend to understand the meeting content. This is definitely the hardest one.
I once sat through a meeting for a solid hour and a half.
And what did you take away from it?
The conclusion was that no one in the room understood what anyone was saying. It was all buzzwords like, "We need to optimize multi-platform engagement to drive digital transformation value." It sounds smart, but it translates to, "Do more work for the same pay."
I'm most allergic to people who constantly say, "Money isn't important."
Usually, people who say that already have a lot of money. For ordinary folks like us, we just need to open our wallets to see the laws of reality.
Yesterday, I went for coffee with friends, and they ordered drinks and cakes without a second thought. Meanwhile, I held the menu, reading it as intently as if I were reviewing a real estate contract. I have a bad habit of looking at the prices first, then looking at the item names.
And then you automatically convert the value, right?
Exactly. A size L milk tea costs the same as 3 meals of instant noodles plus an egg. Thinking that way, I immediately pull my hand back.
For me, every time I remove an item from my online shopping cart, I feel a bit more mature. Wealthy people invest in real estate. We invest in our self-control.
But you seem fine lately?
Fine, as in I haven't burst into tears in the middle of a cafe yet. That itself is an extraordinary effort.
Sometimes I ask myself, am I truly living or just paying bills to exist?
Oh, that sounds so philosophical and profound. Under what circumstances did you realize that?
Right after I transferred this month's rent.
I think we live exactly like NPCs in a video game. Every day is the same repeating loop. Wake up, go to work, complain, drink coffee, go home, scroll on our phones, and worry about the future.
Don't forget the most important step before sleeping. Promise yourself that tomorrow you will live positively with high energy, only to wake up the next morning and complain all over again.
But you have to admit, even though life is a bit exhausting,
Just a bit? Very exhausting is more like it, but sitting here complaining with you makes me feel so much lighter.
because we aren't actually solving the problem.
Then, what are we doing?
We are sharing the misery. This is the friendship of semi-adults. We can't save each other, but we can complain together to feel better.
I think this is a budget-friendly soul healing therapy, perfectly suited to our current financial situation.
Honestly, everyone has to pretend they're okay. No one wants to suddenly stand up in a cafe and scream, I don't know what the hell I'm doing with my life. Even though, in reality, probably 80% of the people around us want to do exactly that.
The remaining 20% are definitely those who are already financially free.
Exactly. Back then, my dream was to travel around and change the world.
And now?
Now my only dream is to sleep a full 8 hours a day without being disturbed. No emails, no deadlines, and no sudden late-night online meetings.
Especially no texts saying, hey, can you adjust this just a little bit? A client's little bit usually lasts longer than my phone's battery life.
But you know what? No matter how much we sit here complaining and blaming life, tomorrow we will still wake up and go to work.
Because maturity doesn't grant us the right to take a sudden break from our emotions. Sounds a bit bitter, doesn't it?
But looking at it from another angle, it's actually quite cool.
In what way?
Cool in the sense that no matter how tired or discouraged we get, we've never thought about giving up. Why did you suddenly go quiet and look at me like that?
I just suddenly felt a bit touched.
Stay away from me. Please don't cry here. This place doesn't offer free tissues, and I don't have money to pay for extras.
Haha, you idiot. But it's true, everyone has to go through these struggling, confusing phases. The important thing is that during the most tiring moments, there's still someone sitting here listening to our random venting, and we still have enough money to pay for these 2 cups of coffee.
Don't be too greedy. Today, I'm allowing myself to be a little happy.
Why is that?
Because at least we are still making an effort to live decently, and we're still sane enough to laugh at the chaos of our lives.
That sounds like lines from an art film.
Well, of course, the two of us are the main characters in a low-budget social drama.
But at least the dialogue is of high quality and very realistic.
The only catch is that the main characters have no money.
That's as real as it gets.